morning, squad. Welcome back to MadMizzy Sports Morning Show, the number one spot for everything sports talk, sports news, sports debate in the morning. Happy Friday. Hope y'all had a great, wonderful turkey day. Enjoyed the time off, the time with the family, the football, and of course, the food. But we got a beautiful rundown today. Of course, we got to go back, break down the Turkey Day games of the Bills beating the Lions in Detroit 28-25, Cowboys beating the Giants in Jerry's World 28-20, and the Minnesota Vikings beating the New England Patriots 33-26 in Minnesota. All the home teams won. Well, no, the Bills was the only away team to win yesterday, but that was a great game. We're going to touch on that. Then we got to touch on Rivalry Saturday. The number 3 Michigan Wolverines going up against the number 2 Ohio State Buckeyes in Ohio State in the Horseshoe. What a great matchup that we're anticipating, and I'm going to break that down, give my predictions and what I expect from that game. And to end it off, I'm going to touch on, of course, my San Francisco 49ers hosting the New Orleans Saints this Sunday. What do I expect from that game? Breakdown and prediction. Let's get right into it, gang, gang. So let's start the Turkey Day recap off with the first game in Detroit. Buffalo Bills at the Detroit Lions, and just a back and forth game all game. The Bills came out to a 14-0 lead, but then the Lions immediately stormed right back. I think it was 17-14 at the half, and then they were just trying to battle it out through the second half of the game. I picked the Lions yesterday. I thought they were going to be able to go out and close out this upset win in a close game, but they were the recipients of a close loss in Detroit in a home stadium. So I look at it, to me, I'm concerned about Josh Allen and how many times he's running the ball. I know I'm a huge Lamar Jackson fan, but when you look at Lamar run, it's a lot different than when Josh Allen runs. When Lamar runs, it's complementary with the running backs. It's complementary with Kenyon Drake and Justice Hill and all those dudes back there. So to me, and then Lamar doesn't try to run people over often. Like, that's what I'm not liking out of Josh Allen. He has an elbow injury. You running the ball, you trucking dudes left and right, 10 carries, 78 yards. Like, I just don't see him being able to last. And if he doesn't grab a Super Bowl in the next few years playing at this style, he's going to break down fast like Cam Newton. I'm sorry. I'm not going to say that it's just inevitable, but when you look at the history of this game, nobody can take those hits consistently and play the quarterback position at a high level. You can't. You get rattled, your arm not the same, your speed not the same, your elusiveness not the same, and then when you lose that and you relied on that so heavily, guess what? You're Cam Newton and you just back there like a slightly better Tim Tebow. You get what I'm saying? So I'm concerned about that when it comes to the Buffalo Bills, but hey, huge win, pulled out the win. Got to keep pace with the Kansas City Chiefs, especially with them having a tiebreaker. So if they end up having the same record, then the Buffalo Bills will have the number 1 seed. So listen, they got to keep pace with the Kansas City Chiefs, and they needed that win. Let's move on to the Cowboys and the Giants game. Giants came out, was dominating this game. It's midway through the third quarter. They up 13-7. I'm like, come on, man. I had picked the Cowboys. I had my money on the Cowboys. I'm like, turn it around. What is you doing, Dak? What you doing, bro? And then bing, out of nowhere, once they got that first touchdown, that avalanche came, 21 points after the midway point of the third quarter. I think it was a tough divisional game. And then I feel like the Dallas Cowboys proved that they may have not matured just yet, because I felt like they were sleepwalking as well. You think about, they came in, the offensive line was depleted for the New York Giants. They don't have no receivers. You get what I'm saying? It's really just Daniel Jones and Saquon Barkley out there, and it shouldn't have been that close. But I also look at my Niners a few weeks ago against the Los Angeles Chargers. We kind of came out that way, sleepwalking a little bit, coming off of a bye, and we had to catch our stride, and then when we caught our stride, we was good. So I feel like it was, regardless, it's a good win. You're going into a little mini bye with this Thursday game, so I like that win for the Dallas Cowboys. And let's move on to Minnesota. In Minnesota, man, you know me, I went against the Minnesota Vikings yesterday and the New England Patriots at the Minnesota Vikings game, just because Kirk Cousins on primetime has been absolutely putrid, but he balled out last night. 30 for 37, 299 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 tubby, 3-to-1 touchdown. The interception ratio is beautiful. 33-26 win. Got some help with a kickoff return for a touchdown. But to me, I mean, you got to look at it. New England, they had it, but the Minnesota Vikings never wavered. They never folded, and I got to give props where props are due, because you think about, I think the New England Patriots came in on a 2-game winning streak, and then you think about that's Bill Belichick and how he can get into Kirk Cousins' head. So for Kirk Cousins to come out there, perform that way, although he overcame that controversial touchdown that was overturned in the red zone for the New England Patriots. I thought it was a touchdown. They said you got to control it all the way. Hey, listen, that joint seemed like the Dez Bryant catch. I thought it was a tubby. You feel what I'm saying? But Minnesota came out there, recovered from getting smacked by the Dallas Cowboys yesterday, and pulled out a win that they needed because they have to remain keeping pace with the Dallas Cowboys, the San Francisco 49ers, the Philadelphia Eagles. Although they have two less losses and 2 more wins than my San Francisco 49ers, there's still a lot of games left to be played, and it wouldn't be surprising if my San Francisco 49ers won out. So you got to think about that moving forward. So I like that win for the Minnesota Vikings and what it's showing for Kirk Cousins. Let's move on to Rivalry Saturday. Number 3, Michigan Wolverines at the number 2 Ohio State Buckeyes in the Horseshoe. What do I expect from this game? To me, it's all about, can the Heisman candidate Blake Corum play? Please. You get what I'm saying? Can Blake Corum and Donovan Edwards play? If those two can play, I predict us controlling the game, running the ball right down Ohio State throat, just like last year. Ohio State gives up 107.9 rush yards per game. They don't look much better in that run defense than they did last year. And then you think about, we averaged 243.8 rush yards a game with a Heisman candidate in the backfield. As good as we were last year with Dwayne Haskins, we're way better this year with Blake Corum as the feature back, and then and Donovan Edwards coming in to spell him. So we're way more explosive in the run game. We're way more explosive in the passing game with J.J. McCarthy, and then having Ronnie Bell back. Ronnie Bell didn't play last year. So I think we have a lot to hang our hat on. We only give up 161.7 pass yards per game. Ohio State averages getting 289 pass yards per game. That's going to be the key to the game as well, is if we can pressure C.J. Stroud. If we can pressure C.J. Stroud, get him to throw some turnovers, fumble the ball here or there, then I think we'll come out with a win in Ohio State. I think a lot of people aren't giving us a chance, and I think that's going to bode well for us. We want to come out and change this series around. We don't want to go out there and get one win and then we lose 10 straight more. No, we need to go on a win streak ourselves, and I feel like we're going to come out there and we're going to dominate this game. We're going to ground and pound them. It's going to be close at the half, and we're going to come out and we're going to dominate that second half just like we've done all year against Ohio State. We did it all year. We're going to do it again against Ohio State in the Horseshoe. Get ready. Yeah, I got my Michigan Wolverines 38-31 in the Horseshoe. Probably won't even be that close. Ohio State might score a touchdown late to make it look a little bit better, but we're going to dominate that second half, especially if the Heisman winner, Blake Corum, plays. And before we end off episode 60, I got to speak on my San Francisco 49ers hosting the New Orleans Saints this Sunday. What do I expect from this game? To me, the New Orleans Saints lost 3 of their last 5 games. They give up 132 rush yards per game. That's 23rd in the NFL. Y'all already know my 49ers are ground and pound. That's what we want to do. We want to run the ball, and I don't see them being able to stop us. So to me, it's all about the defense, stopping Alvin Kamara, making them one-dimensional, and making either whoever they have out there starting, Andy Dalton or Jameis Winston, into 50-plus passer on Sunday. If we do that, they're going to throw us a few interceptions. They're going to give us a few turnovers, and our offense will be able to control the game with running the ball on that defense. I think Elijah Mitchell will have a huge game this week because we've been using Christian McCaffrey a lot, like just as like a specialist here. He'll run, then he'll go into the slide. He do a lot of the swing passes. I think Elijah Mitchell has a huge game on the ground this Sunday. I got my San Francisco 49ers 17-31 in San Francisco. Let me know what y'all think, though. Turkey Day recap. What did y'all think of the Bills beating the Lions 28-25 in Detroit? Cowboys beating the Giants in Jerry's World 28-20. Minnesota Vikings beating the New England Patriots in Minnesota 33-26. Who do y'all have on Rivalry Saturday with the highly anticipated number 3 Michigan Wolverines entering Ohio State to face the number 2 Ohio State Buckeyes in the Horseshoe? Who do y'all have in that game? What do y'all see the score being? And then who do y'all have in my San Francisco 49ers hosting the New Orleans Saints? Do y'all give the New Orleans Saints any type of chance in San Francisco to knock off and upset my San Francisco 49ers? Episode 60, MadMizzy Sports Morning Show, MizzyWorld Entertainment. Gang.